everybody, this is Mary Beth with Keller Williams. I'm here to talk a little bit about September's investor newsletter. Happy fall. I'm very excited to get into the fall months. We're going to start out with some good news for Dayton. During the 2020 property reappraisal, the city saw their largest property value increase since 2005. That ended up being a 7% overall increase in property value and works out to about $1.8 billion gained for the city. The Southeast Dayton neighborhoods saw the biggest increases. So we're talking Schroyer Park, Patterson Park, South Park, the Oregon District, Belmont, Walnut Hills, Linden Heights. All those neighborhoods saw the biggest increases. The West Side did see some neighborhoods that did not have increases, and a couple of West Side neighborhoods did go down in value. So not total good news across the board, but for the most part, Dayton's really seeing an increase in their property values, and part of that is the housing market and how well that's been doing. In unemployment news, the $300 in federal assistance did start going out this week. Last month, Ohio had announced they were going to participate, but we were not certain of what the distribution would look like. That has started to go out, and anyone who is on the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, they are going to get up to 6 weeks. So that's going to be a credit from August 1st to mid-September. They're going to get retroactively paid $300 a week. So good news for anybody who was counting on that little bit of extra federal assistance. The CDC, they did put a moratorium on evictions through the end of the year. That is a little more complicated than it sounds. That does not mean you cannot file an eviction. If your tenant wants to use the CDC moratorium, they must have a signed declaration stating that they have been impacted by the pandemic. If you have any questions, please see an attorney. You can still file evictions for other reasons. If someone's destroying your property, if they have not paid their rent and they're not impacted by the pandemic, if they're doing something illegal in your property, you can evict them. If you have any questions, Clarissa Clark, she has a great little section in Carrie's Corner in the newsletter. She is familiar with these issues, so if you're not certain, give her a call or talk to your own attorney, because the CDC moratorium is not straightforward. As far as market updates, we do have a little more inventory on the market. That's good news for buyers. As we move into fall, I'm looking to have a little less competition on deals. During the summer, we had really low inventory. We've had a lot of multiple offers. A lot of properties have been going over asking. As we move into fall, I don't expect property values to drop too much. I don't think you're going to see properties go much lower, but I think you might see fewer multiple offer situations. So if you're a buyer and you've had trouble finding something all summer, as we move into September, October, November, even December, these might be great months for you to find a deal, because as people get into the holidays, as kids go back to school, people get busy, they get distracted, and there are fewer buyers looking. So for any investor who wants to get something before the end of 2020, this last quarter might be your time. And finally, Manco, they wanted to talk a little bit about lost opportunity costs. They do see a lot of instances where when a tenant moves out, investors don't want to put the money into turning over the unit. A lot of times, if somebody's lived somewhere for a long time, the unit does need a little bit of work. Paint, blinds, carpet, minor repairs. You want to make sure that unit is fresh and clean and safe and appealing for your next tenant, so you can raise the rent and so you can get someone else in there who's going to be there a long time. It's a little bit of an upfront cost, but if you just let that unit sit dirty and empty, one, nobody's going to want to rent it, and two, you're losing money in the long run. Even if it's a little bit of an upfront cost, you're always going to get it back in the long run rather than just letting your investment sit empty. So Manco really wanted to stress the importance of turning over your units in a timely fashion. That's all that we have this week and this month. I hope everyone's having a great September, and we look forward to talking to you in October. Thank you.